Okay, this is Rudolph the Red Reindeer, arranged by Lorie Line. Let's take a quick listen, then we'll talk about the details. Okay, so this is a fairly long song. We've got 8 pages here. We've got glissandos, we've got a lot of syncopation, triplets, all kinds of weird stuff going on here. But it's a fun piece. The one thing you need to focus on with this one is when you're doing your glissandos, like in the beginning, you can do a few fingers this way, you can do your middle finger that way. Just make sure that you're not dragging your skin so hard across the keys that you're ripping the skin off. So fingernail's good, middle finger, and practice sliding and getting to that G up there, so like that. Obviously you know how the parts go because I've recorded it now, but make sure that we're playing at the right time. So there's so much syncopation in this one, I'm going to run down to measure 6. So we're starting on a syncopated beat with the melody. So as the left hand's playing here, I'm going to do it really slow so you can see what I'm talking about. So these are the strong beats, okay? But we're starting in between that. So you can see there's so many things not lined up there. And then the next part starts on a weak beat. So we just did... some of that lines up and some of it doesn't. So pay really close attention. If you need to, print the pages out and draw lines where the notes go in between the notes, or excuse me, where the right hand melody notes go in between the left hand bass notes, so you know what's syncopated and what isn't, so you play it accurately. Main focus here is to keep the beat. Just keep the beat rolling. You just keep it rolling. As long as you keep that going and obviously play the right notes, you're in good shape. There are a bunch of dynamics here. A lot of decrescendos, crescendos, a lot of accent marks, so we should be going over there and hitting those loud when we can. But I know there's a lot to think about in this piece. It is 8 pages. I want to jump over to page, let's see here, page 3. We get a little repeat going on here. Now this part. That part right there gives people a lot of trouble sometimes. What you want to do is slow everything down into a slow motion. Boom. Problem solved. Then slowly speed up, speed up, speed up, and you're in good shape there. Again, for this midpoint part, starting on measure 38, we've got a lot of syncopation again. So we're hitting here on the beat, in between. So that was just measure 38. So be careful on that. Make sure you're lining stuff up properly. And at the end of that section where we keep doing that repeated, that thing, on measure 45, we've got another glissando leading from that. So we're like, get into that. So be ready to jump to do your glissando. And when you do it, make sure that you catch your middle finger, or you can just slide from the top if you need to. And you should be practicing your glissandos getting to the note that you're going to play. So, like that. Not the other way. So sliding up, so forth. Practice hitting your mark. Oh, here's another thing that people mess up. So I'm going to start on measure 48 here. So we're playing at the end of the page. Now I'm playing this. Now the G that goes into measure 49, this G that's in the end of 48, is an eighth note. So a lot of people go like it's a quarter. It's not a quarter, so it's like that. So make sure you get the rhythm right on that. And then you got to be ready to jump down to the mid C point, and then so we got a lot of syncopation going on there too. But most of the stuff here is kind of repeating just an octave lower, in a sense. Moving on, let's see here. There's repeats. We already talked about that. Okay, the measure 89. It says Rudolph's Dance. So we're playing the repeat part of this. That thing. And we get to measure 88 and we're going. And then you gotta jump up an octave higher. Pay attention to that. And keeping the beat from 93 to 94 is a problem sometimes. So you might want to really practice that part, because that does repeat. Oh, and then we have the downward glissando. Okay, now let's shoot to, we'll do measure 103 to 104 where that glissando goes down. So we're playing this on measure 103. There's a break, and then when you hit this chord, you can do it like that, or like that. It doesn't matter, but you have to get down to G. So, and you got to keep the beat. So as you do it, and so forth, and then we keep rolling. Let's see here. Let's do that correctly this time. Like that. What are we doing here? And then most of the stuff's repeating. There's a weird chord on measure 112, so watch out for that. It's that. If you just get the octave, if you can't do it, just go. It will sound fine. And then the ending, the very ending. Let's jump to measure, what is that, 122. So we go. Hopefully that helps you out. Obviously you're probably intermediate or advanced student if you're playing this, so you should be able to figure out the rest. Good luck!